Hey, what is up, everybody? It is the Good Vibes Podcast, and this is January the 22nd, and we are bringing in the new year hot and heavy like a makeout session. Anyway, guys, I cannot believe it. Recently hit 1,000 downloads, 1,000 plays solely on the Podbean website. You know, getting the YouTube channel going. It's got some views onto there, but Podbean accounts in for like iTunes and things like that, where my podcast is published. And so recently we have hit 1,000 downloads. And anyway, in all of that, bringing you good waves, good vibes, and good times, all from the comfort of my own home. That made me really excited, so I had to put that out there first. But anyway, I also realized on my last Friday with Friends, I didn't say that. And that almost kind of made me want to stick a fork in an electrical outlet. But that made me really, really sad. But anyway, it is Monday, and today we're going to be swapping it up a little bit. You know, with Friday with Friends was what, the 30th podcast? So now that we're on the 30th first podcast, we're just going to end the talk show. No, oh, I couldn't even say that with a straight face. We're not ending the talk show. It is only going up from here, guys. And anyway, for the 1,000 downloads, sorry, I was looking at my dog. He's special guest, and he freaked out because that was really funny. That was really funny. But look at this right here. And for those of you, listen to this on Podbean or watching on YouTube. Either way, it's getting published to both. But this right here, baby, is a $50 Target gift card. Now, I know that a lot of you who are on my Snapchat have come to the talk show through Snapchat, but if there's like some random chance that somebody somewhere found this talk show through no affiliation from me aggravating you every single day about going to listen to this, then kudos to you. But for 1,000 plays, I am doing a $50 gift card giveaway. I mean, just for the heck of it. And so that will end in 2 weeks. Actually, it'll end not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that. And it is actually, it's kind of just like from a me to you. It's not really to promote anything except for the talk show, because I am so grateful that we were able to hit 1,000 plays. But for those of you who would like to know how to enter, I'll be doing the giveaway details on my Snapchat until the talk show, the giveaway ends. Not the talk show. I still get that stuck in my head. That was funny. That was really funny. But it says baby on the front because I was really nervous because there was like 5 people behind me in Target, and I asked how to buy a gift card, and she said just pick one out right behind you. So I picked the first one, and I think it's for a baby shower or for a loved one. So go on. All you have to do is follow me on Podbean, follow me on YouTube, and then you have to screenshot me on Snapchat and put that on your story. And once you do that, then, I mean, that just enters you into the chance to win a $50 Target gift card. It's a lot of money. It was kind of sad to see that depart from my paycheck. But then it made me really, really happy to remember what that was going for, which was for the podcast. But anyway, I was talking to some people, and they're like, oh, I don't want to put it on my story because, you know, I don't want everybody to see it because they don't know what I'm talking about. Can I just follow you on Podbean and on YouTube and then enter into the gift card giveaway? No. Actually, I would much rather prefer you just sharing it on your story and just following me either on Podbean or YouTube. You probably don't even have to do both. I'm going to be completely honest. The whole purpose is just to try to get my name out there. That's what we're going to try to do for the month of January, is advertising push. I just came up with that, so apparently that's what we're doing now. But we're going to try to do that and get the name out there, and so the giveaway is on Snapchat. Just add me through there. It is Cole Metcalf, ColeMetcalf, one word, no spaces, no capitals. And anyway, you do that, boom, you are in the money. You're in whatever it is. So anyway, I was discussing last Wednesday, I was going to try to do a juice cleanse, and so I let you guys know that, you know, I was excited to start that, to get my bowels moving, to clean out all the toxins in my body. That didn't last at all. I started it Wednesday. What it was 8 ounces of water, and then it was 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then it was 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And so if you did it all right, it seriously tasted just like lemonade. So it tasted really, really good. But that was all you could. I mean, you couldn't drink anything else except for water, and you could not eat anything. You couldn't eat anything. And so what it was supposed to do is just kind of like reset your digestive system and really flush out stuff that's kind of like built up over there. And so, like, my stomach had been killing me for a week and a half, so I was like, I'm gonna try this. So, I mean, I started really good on Wednesday. You're supposed to do like 6 to 12 glasses a day, and you're supposed to drink one whenever you get hungry. It's not really on a set time frame. But if you do 6 to 12 glasses a day, and then do that whenever you're hungry, it takes away, because, I mean, it fills you up. And you're supposed to drink a lot because you get a lot of hungry. And then you're supposed to also drink like a lot of water with that to, like, have the toxins to be able to flush out in some sort of way. That means you pee them out. But and then you do that. So I had like 5 glasses on Wednesday, and it was pretty good. I think I just got the idea from it from Wikipedia, but I saw it on Orange is the New Black, which was where I first saw that. And so I know that a cleanse is supposed to cleanse you, so I was just kind of like, my digestive system hurts, let's try a lemon juice cleanse. And so we went for it, and I had 5 glasses on Wednesday. So, I mean, it was going pretty well, and then through there, I was miserable. I couldn't eat anything. I think I had like maybe 3 crackers that day, but I lasted all the way till Wednesday night, and then I had a banana, and then once I had the banana, everything kind of went downhill. Claire, she told me to eat cereal. Well, she kind of tried to stop me because she was like trying to support me and motivate me. But anyway, I didn't. And then I ate like 3 bowls of cereal. So the juice cleanse didn't really go as planned. But for you health nuts out there who have... Oh, this is disgusting. I said dinner. Who have a lot more motivation and a lot more dedication than me to like treat your body like a temple, try it. And all you're supposed to do is, like, it's supposed to be for 10 days, but people said that they saw results in like 3 to 4, so I was only going to do it for like 3 days, the bare minimum. And so try it. I'm just here to give you my experience, as in I was very hungry the entire time, and it was sad for me. But then again, I did eat fast food like 4 times in one day. So coming from me, it's probably not the best idea for me to do a juice cleanse. So Wednesday, I want to try something different for questions with the audience. We're going to be trying to do an advice column, an advice help. So anyway, I'm going to try to start putting categories on these because you guys are really, really running out of ideas to send in questions, because apparently you're just not creative enough, which is very, very sad, and I'm very heartbroken to hear that. But I'm going to start trying to put categories on these, and so from there it's going to be going like really well, I hope. And so doing that, I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. So I'm going to try to do an advice column, so you'll be able to send me in your like personal questions, like, maybe your broken family, or your dog ran away, or boyfriend-girlfriend problems. I enjoy Dr. Phil in it, so that's what we're going to try to do. And so, anyway, we're going to try to do that. And so, oh no, I didn't start a stopwatch, so I hope I do not go under time. But when have I ever gone under time? Once, and I hit 26 minutes, and that was sad. But anyway, I wanted to talk with you guys. I want to try, what would you guys say to like maybe like a little segment of Monday motivation? I thought about that in the shower, and I thought that was pretty neato. So I actually wanted to share like going through college. This podcast has started out for college kids, and it was based more towards kids my age, kids older. Apparently I look 24, so we're gonna go with kids younger than me. And so it was based out for that, and it still is based more towards a college appropriated humor. And so discussing that, going into college, it was completely different than what I had in high school, what high school prepared me for. And in high school, I had it told to me, I had it discussed with me, I had it drilled into my brain and seared into my mind that before you graduate, you need to know where you're going to college. You need to know what classes you have to take. You need to know what you are doing with your life, and that you need to have every detail mapped out to be a good adult and a prepared adult. And so the school that I went to, it was rigorous. I mean, it was kind of like a college boot camp. And so we were pretty much lectured every day about do this for college. What classes are you taking? What are you doing with your life? And then if you didn't know what you want to do, if you were undecided, if you didn't know what you wanted to major in, or if you didn't even have like a career field, not necessarily a profession, but you didn't even have an idea of where you wanted to go, you were like shunned upon and like excluded, and you were just looked upon as lazy. Yeah, that's about it, really. And it was just kind of sad. And so being like that way and like being forced to choose a career path so soon and so sudden, I don't feel like I had the time to mature enough to be able to have a grasp or an understanding of what life had to offer, or what I wanted to do with my life, and where I wanted to necessarily utilize my assets and to have a purpose of what I wanted to do. And so all that appealed to me was money. And it was money, 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 money. And that's all that they talked about. That was the whole backing of everything. It was, you need to have a good job to have money. You need to go to college to have money for it to pay off. You need to go to cheap colleges to have money. They wanted you to go to community college. They didn't want you to start out at a 4-year school. And so I think that would have been a big mistake. And I really wish that I had gone to a 4-year school to start out with, because I know that I would have had so much fun and a blast. But I got coaxed into going to a community college, and it would have been so much better for me to make true freshman friends. I honestly, like, that is one of the biggest regrets that I have, is not going to a 4-year to start out with. And so, you were so focused on the money, and that's all it was. And so that's what appealed to me, was big dollars, big bucks, big everything, so that way I could have nice stuff, lavish stuff. I would always have a sense of security, as in I would never be lacking in funds. And so that's how it was portrayed in front of me. That's how it was put out. And so I would day in and day out focus on, wow, how much money am I going to make if I don't pass this classes? How's this going to affect my salary as an adult? And so I know that I've discussed this a little bit before, but I had everything wired down to like dotting the I's and crossing your T's. I knew how many hours I was going to finish with in like the spring semester of 2017 or 2018, because 2017 is right now. But I had everything mapped out. I wanted to be a CRNA, 200,000 plus a year, and it was all about the money. And getting into college completely changed my entire mind. Like, I was talked into by a guidance counselor, or whatever you want to call them. And he was like, if you're a male nurse, male nurses are always in demand. There's always going to be sick people, And so the way that I knew that what I wanted to do with a profession or a career, no matter what it was, is to help people and make people's lives better. And so when I first started out, back in like 7th grade or whatever, I wanted to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, because I wanted to like try to help people. And then that shifted to a pediatrician, and then that shifted eventually into just a male nurse, which then led to a CRNA. So I was going into sort of like the medical based field to help people and to make people's lives better. That was the whole focus behind it. It was never because medicine appealed to me. But once I got into college, I was pushed on the ACT. ACT is everything. You've got to do the ACT. And then it was like, you've got to take all of these classes. You seriously just have to work like a horse and take all of these classes. And then I was like, yeah, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got to have a career. I have to have this all planned out. And then I was looking at everybody who didn't have it planned out, and I was like, what are y'all doing? You've got to step up on your game. And you see, there's nothing wrong with having it planned out, but I'm just saying that that's not everything. And so I got into my summer semester of last year, 2016, and I took 13 hours in a 10-week course. And I took Biology 201, Math 110, Psych 200, and English 101. And 3 of those were online. The way that our school, it was a private school, I graduated with 32 people, they did not prepare you for college at all. They didn't prepare you for the real world. So once I got into there, I got my tail handed to me. And I failed my math class. I passed psychology with a D online. I had to drop my English 101 class because there was no way I would have been able to do 4 classes. And then I finished my biology 201 with a 90 because it was in-person class. And so I just got my tail handed to me. So the fall came around and I was already had all my courses planned out because by the fall I was going to finish up all of my gen ed courses, and then by the spring I was supposed to enter into the nursing program at Calhoun this upcoming spring. But then they dropped the spring enrollment, and so I had all my classes planned out. And halfway through the fall semester, I just realized that I was going to be stuck at a job. I was going to be only in this for the money. And I dropped my biology class, finished my classes for the fall, and changed my major completely. And now I'm going into a double major of finances and communications. And even then, I might change it again to broadcasting. Who knows? I'm really leaning more towards broadcasting now. And so what the whole purpose of this is to tell you is that if you don't have it figured out, if you don't have it decided, if you are graduating upcoming, or if you've already graduated, if you're in your freshman year of college and you don't have it figured out what you want to do, that's all right. And that's okay, because not a lot of people have it figured out. And people down the road, 25, 30, 35, even they don't have it figured out. Heck, my parents are 42 years old, and I don't even think my mom still knows what she wants to do with her life. But what I'm trying to say is enjoy the moment and don't get so focused and caught up in everything. You don't have to have it figured out right now, and that's okay. I mean, I understand the stress of everything. I mean, 2016 was put through the ringer. And coming out now and realizing to accept that even though I'm not 100% sure what I want to do still yet, is that that's okay. And that's fine. And that's acceptable. And that doesn't make you any less of a person. And so just take a deep breath. I mean, take a deep breath. And just realize that if you don't have it figured out, and you're 2 years in and you don't have it figured out, that's all right. And you still got time and opportunity. I mean, the life expectancy is like, what, 85? Why do we have to figure everything out by the time before we're even like 23? I mean, it's okay, and it's all right. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that from a perspective of me and what I was put through, and how I am now, is that maybe for like younger viewers who haven't even gotten into college that watch this, is that you don't have to have everything figured out right here and right now. It's okay to go into college undecided. It's okay to go into college and take gen ed courses and just focus on friends and building friendships. It's okay to go into college and have absolutely no idea what you want to do with your life, because that's what college is for. That's what college is. It's a weed out system. It's a structurally sound system. Well, I wouldn't say structurally sound because there's a lot of flaws in college, but you know. But I mean, it's put there for you to develop as a person, and for you to develop in social relationships, to develop personally in emotional relationships. I mean, it's a developing tool, in all honesty, when it boils down to anything, because it takes you away from your parents. It takes you away from a high school sheltered setting, and it puts you as your own person and forces you to come up with your own ideas and beliefs. And so if you go into college undecided, you don't know what you want to do, that's okay, because that's what college is there for. And so take a deep breath and figure it out. And if you don't have it figured out now, that's all right. And if you don't have it figured out in a year from now, that's all right, because that's what it's there for. And so that's how I feel. I mean, I have accepted that I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do, but that's all right. And I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on improving myself. I'm really focusing on this talk show that I'm doing. I mean, it's not even a podcast anymore. Good grief. It came from Podbean. I started out using the Xbox One headset as a microphone and using the Windows voice recorder. And now look where I'm at. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or be arrogant, but I feel like you guys have completely latched onto this and have put this talk show where I never would have dreamed I would have been right now. And so I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on trying to direct your guys' energy into this. And it's going great. And I love it. And I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on relationships. And bottom line is, I'm focusing on being happy and myself. And I'm trying to learn that no matter who else comes and goes into my life, that the only person that's 110% always going to be there is myself. And so I'm focusing on that, improving myself to become a better person down the road. And so do that. I mean, just focus on little things in life and the moments, and just focus on what makes you happy, to be honest. And so if you can turn what makes you happy into a job or a career or a profession, then go for it. Because we need more dreamers, and we need more believers, and we need more people who don't clock in and work a 9 to 5 every day just to live for the weekends. We need people who get out there. We need people who pursue their dreams to really push this world and to push society as a whole, to push other people, friends, to push family, to push everybody unto a step above what that they thought that they could be. And so if you can turn what makes you happy, and turn what you enjoy doing, and turn like everything that you love and push that towards a career and towards a profession. If you can find a job that you love, find a career, find anything that you love, and do that for the rest of your life, then go for it. Because we need more people like that who have a passion, who have a sort of energy towards whatever they do. Because it's people who have passion, and it's people who have energy behind their jobs and behind what they're doing and behind their beliefs, behind everything. If passion is pushing that, then there's absolutely nothing that will ever be able to stop it. And so get out there and do it and follow what you love. That's what I'm doing. And I could not thank you guys enough for supporting me in doing what I'm doing. And I am just like completely mind blown and beyond grateful as to where this is now. And I mean, I'm looking up, and with you guys, if you keep doing this and supporting me, this podcast, this talk show, this episode, everything wrapped around into one, and all of this good vibes, mumbo jumbo, it can only go up from here. And that is so exciting to see, and that is so fun to imagine all the different roads and branches that I can take and do this talk show with. And it's great. And so I feel like I've, kind of gone off on a rabbit trail, but I wanted to give you guys, motivation and experience, and to push you. And if you're looking for like a sign or for anything, this is it, and do it. And so now, to follow that up, obviously with the Monday, it is the good news segment. And so now I'm gonna bring you guys some great news of people who have almost done exactly what I was just talking about. People who have put passion into their lives and let that take them wherever. To start off with that, we've got two. Not one, but two. Well, I guess that you can only really have two twins. But two identical twins. 80-year-old identical twins. Both women. And their names are Elrose Corick and Sue Hollinger. And they're from Florida, and they just finished hiking, but they hiked the entire Appalachian Trail together, 2,190 miles. They hiked it. It took them 13 months. And so they had spent 30 years apart, from marriage or maybe being estranged or like whatever, but they lived together in Florida, and they were like, they started a like a group or whatever you call it, but they had been planning to hike since 1992. And so they had gotten a group of people that were supposed to do it, and so they were like getting prepared for it, and they were getting everything. But like I think it said by the time of 1998, which is when I was born, just saying, so if you want to wish me happy birthday on August 11th, that's me. But, like, by the time of 1998, all of their friends and, like, group members had dropped out, and they didn't want to do the hike anymore. And so, so they decided, hey, we're going to do it ourselves. And so it took them a total of 13 months. Actually, I think it was the Washington Post said that it took them 13 hours, but that was a lie. And so I went on and was like researching it, and it was like if you're a healthy like 25-year-old male in the peak of everything, it takes you like 6 months. So I was like, 80-year-old women, it's probably like 13 months is probably what they meant. So it took them roughly like 13 months to hike the whole thing. And so they said that it was great. They were never in really any danger. They encountered like some wildlife, but it wasn't like, too much. Like, I think they encountered a bear. I mean, that was it, probably. But they said that the last week of their hike, they were joined by their grandchildren, who hiked with them the rest of the way. And once they finally reached the end of it, all of their family was there giving them hugs, and they were so excited, and they were congratulating them. And so they interviewed them, and they were like, well, where do you plan on going now? I mean, what is your next biggest adventure? And they were like, listen, we can't even get off the couch. Our bodies are sore. And so now they're just kind of waiting. I hope they don't die, but I really hope that they, get to see more adventures. And so I thought that was pretty neat. Also, North Carolina police officer, he bought a teenage boy a mountain bike. And so what it was I don't remember the guy's name, the police officer. It didn't say the boy's name. But he noticed this boy walking like every day, night and day, in the morning, whatever. And so he finally pulled him over and he was like, hey, what's going on? I see you walking all the time. Where are you going? And so the boy was 18 and he was walking to his job, which was 7 miles away. And so it took him about 2.5 hours to get there. So it didn't say why he had to have the job. I mean, it didn't put any background or clarification on why he was walking 2.5 hours. So it was like a 5-hour round trip every day to go to work. And so he had to work. It was 5 hours, 7 miles away. And so the officer was like, wow, man, I feel bad for him. So he got a bunch of other officers, and together they all went in and they chipped in and they bought him a mountain bike. And so now he has a bike to ride to and from whatever. 7 miles. It took me probably an hour and a half to bike 11 miles. So he's probably doing it in under probably about an hour or so, around an hour. So that really cut down cost and everything. But I mean, that really kind of puts stuff in perspective and makes you like appreciate, that some of, I don't know what anybody's situation is really, but if you have a car, be grateful for that. And if you can walk, be grateful for that. And if you live closer to your job than this guy did, be grateful for that. Because he was walking 7 miles to, and then 7 miles back. So he was walking 14 miles every single day just to go to his job. And so I thought that was crazy. But I mean, like, the officers bought in and they all got him a bike. And so that was pretty neat. But, third thing that I discussed that I wanted to talk about with you guys is Mayor Richard Berry. He is the mayor of Albuquerque. That's what it said. And so he started a program that was to mutually help the homeless people in his city, but also to help the city at the same time. And so what he did was he discussed, and it was like, the city, they would go and hire, their word was panhandlers, so people that like beg for money or whatever, and they would hire them for the day, give them an hourly wage. And so like they would give them a day job for that, and so they would go onto the city's construction team or whatever, or like maybe sanitation or litter, but they would give them a job for the day, an hourly wage, and they would go and work for the city, and then they would provide their lunch, they would pay for their lunch and give them to them for free, and then at the end of the day they would put them up in a place to shower and a place to sleep. And so that was, I thought that was probably one of my favorite stories to come across, was that, because that is insanely neat for like an idea. I mean, I don't see why not everybody goes, and I mean, we could do something like that here, but it's mutually beneficial to the city and to the homeless around the city. I mean, it gets them cleaned up, a place to shower, it puts money in their pockets, and it provides for them a free lunch. And so that was really neato on the dot. And so these two stories, oh my goodness, that was loud. Mayor Richard Berry and the second one, musician Rob Nash, It was like from 2000. It was a list. It was like 2016's top the best people ever of 2016. And so musician Rob Nash, he is a musician who travels to local schools, and he like gives talks on suicide awareness and prevention, and so he discusses things like that. And so when he would go to schools and discuss, a suicide prevention, or he would try to raise awareness for suicide, like among teenagers in high school, he would have teenagers come up and like hand him the suicide notes that they had been like carrying in their jacket pockets, or just like in their wallets, or what they'd been carrying with them in their backpacks. And so he kept all of the suicide notes that kids had handed them. And so one day he decided to finally go. He had 120 suicide notes that were handed to him, and the kids were like, he really made an impact on their life and really influenced them. And so he went and he got each first name of every kid tattooed onto his arm in a sleeve. And so he had 120 kids' names put onto his arm. And so what he would do now is, when he goes to another school to raise awareness and talk about suicide prevention, he would show the kids all of the names on his arm from the 120 suicide notes. And he would show all the kids that, and he would tell them that these are all of the kids that have been where you're at but have kept on living. And these are the kids who handed me that. And he would explain to them the whole story of stuff like that. And so I thought that was pretty cool to have, to care so much about a cause of suicide prevention and suicide awareness, to have that permanently imprinted or tattooed or inked or whatever onto your body. And so for somebody to get behind a cause so much as to do that, discussing what we talked about 5 minutes ago, having so much of a passion to be able to push yourself forward and do that, and to like put that permanently onto your body, that we need more people like that. And we need people like that. And a lot of people like that. Seriously. But I think, what is this? No, this is not the final story. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get y'all's hopes up. But, we're coming to a close on the Monday podcast. So, you're just going to have to suck it up and tough it out. But cabinet manufacturing plant in Iowa, it was Birch Cabinets. They took 800 employees on a cruise. Over 800 employees. And the president of the company, Gary Birch, I think he started the company in 1977 in a barn. And so they now have over 800 employees. But he offered incentives for the year. And he was like, listen, if we make these incentives, or if we make these goals financially, if we make these customer-oriented goals, that at the end of the year, I'll take you guys all on a vacation. And there were some high goals, but they were able to hit them. And so now they are taking 4 chartered aircraft. That's 4 airplanes from Iowa to Miami. And I think that he's paying for everything, or the company is. And so 4 chartered aircraft to fly to Miami, and then from Miami, they are being put into a 5-star hotel, and then they are getting loaded up on the bus the next morning and traveling down to the port, and they're all getting loaded onto a Carnival cruise ship. And it's a week-long vacation, and the ship is going to stop in places like Cozumel, Mexico, and Key West, Florida. It's a Caribbean cruise. And so, the getaway was offered as an incentive for the employees to be able to reach their goals and stuff like this. And so that is really cool. These stories, some of them I can relate to personally, but some of them I don't really have anything to say other than that is super cool. And I just want you guys to hear these, to be able to obviously have Monday motivation, of course, to be able to get you through the week till Wednesday, to where you can hear my voice again, because I know that you guys are just so addicted to that. And so, but that was a pretty neat story. I thought that was really cool for somebody to be able to sacrifice such a huge amount of money to take 800 employees on a paid 1-week vacation. But they probably got a bit of a discount to for booking in, so much. But the company has been known to do this before. It says that they did it to provide vacations as an incentive. They took a company retreat to Acapulco in 1989, and then they took another company trip to Hawaii. He didn't say when, but they had to stop doing that around 2005 before the recession because they just could not afford it. But that was neat. So adoption story, adoption time. Michael Brown was adopted, a 3-year-old boy that had been through 3 foster care homes. And so he was adopted by Tara Montgomery. And what it was she had him since he was 18. She got him around Valentine's Day of 2015, 18 months old. And so she brought him into her foster family. And so a background of her was her husband, Montgomery, was murdered in 2001. And so ever since then, she was really trying to do stuff to make an impact on kids' lives because she has 3 kids herself. One's old, one's 23, and one's 16. I didn't say the age of the oldest one. And so she was really trying to make an impact on other people's lives. So she started doing foster care. And so she had done 5 foster kids before this to be able to put through an adoption. So Michael Brown, was supposed to go back to his mom to become adopted, and because she put him up for adoption because she could not afford to keep him or whatever. I don't know the circumstances. But when the adoption for his adoption between his mom fell through, Miss Montgomery, whatever, she knew exactly what to do. So she went and talked to her 3 biological children, and a resounding yes through all of them. They knew immediately that this kid belonged as part of their family, which was a direct quote from them. But and so he was adopted. He was in foster care for 832 days. And so he tells her all the time. A quote from him is he tells her all the time. He says, "Mama, I'm happy." And you can see it on his face. You can see it, whatever. He is so happy to become adopted and to be there. But final story before I let you guys go. A girl with cystic fibrosis. You may have heard about her because she actually is a solo artist apparently. She is going to sing her 3rd NFL game. She's supposed to sing the Star Spangled Banner there, and so her name is Brianna Colicchio. And last December, I think that was talking about 2015 December, or maybe 2000. It was a December. She sang at a Jets game in front of 70,000. And when she was able to hit all the notes and really, really sing really well, they immediately invited her back for the next game, and she sang there. And now she is set to sing a 3rd time at an NFL stage. And wow, I sniffle a lot, and I'm sick of it. One thing she says, they asked her if she was nervous singing in front of so many people, and a direct quote from her was that she is not nervous because she has Jesus on her side and he will never let her down. And so she is strongly rooted with Christianity, and she is very, very, very talented singing wise. And so she has cystic fibrosis, which the disease reduces lung function, which it's a huge buildup of mucus. Just a lot of it is from what I was reading. And so for her being able to have that disease, which reduces her lung function, and then having the disease and then being able to sing the notes like that is incredible. And they said it was nothing short of a miracle. But she uses her ability and her singing ability. I wrote here that she uses her singing ability for good, because those people who use their singing ability for bad, watch out for them. But she sings at events and charities and raises awareness for cystic fibrosis. And she was able to raise $96,000 in one charity event for the Just Breathe Foundation, which I would assume is working for a cure for cystic fibrosis. But the Just Breathe Foundation was founded by 28-year-old Scavenport local. I don't remember her name. But it was founded by her, and so she's able to carry the torch on and pass it on and whatever. But anyway, guys, those are the good news stories. Those are the good news, and there's a little Monday motivation for you. So anyway, this has been the Good Vibes Podcast, and as always, I want you guys to stay funky and know that I absolutely love every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. And just add me on Snapchat for the talk show details. Anyway, guys, stay funky. I love you.